Capricorn, second half of the month, November 2024. So what is the main theme for you Capricorns for the second half of November? Let's get started. Oh, health and healing. That is really, really interesting. So what I clearly see here is that you really need to pay attention to everything what is happening in your surrounding at this particular second half of the month. Do you remember that for November, you can get back to my readings specifically for the whole month. I told you to keep focus. So if let's say we shift our focus and we are not really mastering our focus through the month when things are speeding up around, what may happen is we can go from is to this is energetically, or career-wise, relationship-wise, or health-wise. So it's not necessarily just physical health. It might be the case that this is, I am not profiting this here. I am saying that there is an is before, then we are not mastering our attention, right? And that was the main thing which you wanted to master during this month. And if you do not master your attention, then what might happen is depression. And when the pressure is happening, inevitably we need to pay more attention to kind of like being whole, to healing ourselves, let's say energetically. Everything is well with the health, but energetically, we kind of like want to do a bit more energetic work. Or maybe we want to pay attention to how can we heal anything career-wise. Or maybe we can pay attention to how can we heal those relationships, something we said which was wrong. Some things may speed up, we are not mastering our attention, and then we need to heal the situation. It's inevitable. So it's going in a very logical sequence to that main theme of the month when things may be happening, some chaos may be happening around, things may speed up too much. So you want, in fact, just to really start paying attention to healing your environment. So very, very important. Now, how can you heal your environment? First of all, your personal environment. Then how can you balance and make sure that everything is happening well with your career on that front, money-wise, and in your relationship area. So we want to just understand these three main areas with you, a bit more specifics on that front. So how can we balance that inner nurturing within us? That's what I was thinking about for you. Four of Wands. Yes, so it's all about energy, in fact. Ace of Wands, do you see, like, come back to that initial energy center, do any kind of energy healing work. That's what it is all about for you for that second half of the month. So there might be some disbalances energy-wise. And there might be certain things like happening not per our liking during the second half of the month, just like here, right, on the Three of Swords. But I want just to see more that healing. How do we rebalance it? Because it seems like the energy was disturbed. Yes, so King of Wands, again, coming back to that energy healing. It's popping up again and again. And Seven of Wands, yes. So the more specifics here is kind of like, you know, establish the healthy boundaries. Establish the healthy boundaries. Those who are not really elevating your energy, whatever is not elevating your energy through the day, you want to increase the distance. Decrease the frequency, increase the distance. Okay? That's what you want to do. Because it's kind of like seeming like even the attack energy-wise. I don't know what's happening specifically from that situation because it's just a general reading. We would need just to dive even deeper here. But currently I'm doing general reading. I would love to pay attention from your side to the establishing those healthy borders in your surrounding. Okay? Meaning that you walk through the day and then you see that this thing is actually depleting my energy. You need to stop and see, do I continue doing it? You see that person is picking on me. It's taking my energy. Maybe even if it is a relative, maybe you need to stop and see, just like, wait, how can I decrease the frequency of communication? How can I shut down a bit that door? For some while, I need to restore myself. What do I need to do? There is always some solution. Even if it is like you are living together, what do I need to do at this particular moment to still increase that distance, maybe, because I need to restore. Maybe some radical steps even need to be done during that period, because your energy is on the horizon. You need really to take care about your energy. That's very, very important. I see it as a repeating theme through all the cards. In fact, you really want to get back to that raw energy, restoring your energy, and sit still in your energy. Otherwise, you will be depleted. You will be truly depleted, and nothing good will happen out of it. Especially, we are stepping into the last cycle of this year, the last months of this year, and there may be something what you can miss if you don't really restore your energy. Very, very important. And guess what? Things may be even more disturbing if you don't really resolve within yourself that that's it. I am after my energy restoration. I need to do some energy healing work. I need to maybe increase the distance from certain people. I need to decrease the frequency of communication with certain people, or just vice versa. I have people in my surrounding who actually elevate my energy. I know it, and maybe I need to meet someone who, with whom I feel amazing. So why not to meet someone and to have to chat with someone? Maybe you can step into certain forums which are elevating your energy, supporting you, you know. There are always certain groups here, even in internet, where you can find like-minded people, even if all around you is a toxic environment. You can always just do some efforts there and find some support. Establish your inner circle where all these snakes, all this stuff will not penetrate at the moment, okay? So that's kind of advice I would give you just for your restoring balance, for the personal advice, because it seems like the energy is disturbed on some level. Another way is go do the sauna. If you cannot do sauna health-wise, for instance, although saunas usually are good for everyone, sometimes there are particular cases when you cannot, just take the shower. You know, water cleanses everything. It's a very good energy cleansing tool. So whenever I, for example, go to any kind of psychic fairs, especially, I really prefer doing immediately after that the sauna and the shower. It's just really helping me just to keep my balance. So very quick tool to do that. Now, how to keep the balance and heal anything in your career, because it seems like things are happening there around. Some maybe problems are happening around, disturbances. So what can you do, in fact, to really stand in that balance, strength, that loving attitude, not enforcement, but you see how she's handling that beast. So the beast is approaching, but you handle it first through rebalancing yourself, not through enforcement, not through physical power, not through authority. There are better ways how you can handle that beast, in fact. And I have, in fact, the affirmative statement in the guidebook, which is supporting this deck, which I'm reading you from, for the strength card. I think that you could really utilize it as an affirmative statement to rebalance yourself in your work. So that can be, I am strong and powerful, but gentle at the same time. It's a beautiful combination on femininity, feminine aspect, and masculinity. How do we deal with the world? And it can truly help you to rebalance yourself career-wise from that perspective, right? Because when we, especially as women, apply too much masculinity at work, we can dry ourselves out. We can really increase the potentiality for us to invoke problems in our feminine area, in our womb area, then problems begin there, like endometriosis and all this stuff, you know. And I am not saying that that is the only reason. I'm just saying I was coming through pretty much the same things when I was too masculine at my work. And I didn't really honor and cherish my divine femininity at that time. And I had so many issues in that area. And really, it took me a while to understand and start rebalancing work. Of course, I was working with physicians, with doctors at the same time. We do not say no to that. Find the right ones who helps you with that healing. But I am saying also that there is something as a recurring pattern which creates that inner charge, which actually also has that influence. Everything here is interconnected, and energy is laying down behind everything. So we need to not diminuate and not devaluate how much we can influence with our thoughts, our health, right? So we can still take those pills, let's say, do those even surgeries when it's inevitable, right? But guess what? I saw so many people, they do all this stuff and then the disease occurs again. Then it happens again. Then it happens again and again and again, because there is no is in the mind. And then it is manifested in the body. So you really need to be very cautious and very, I would say, being like that guardian, staying at the door of your mind, right? So, and staying at the door of your heart, so that all these triggers, all these enforcements will not penetrate there, so that this beast will not create mess. You deal with that beast by first fixing yourself from within. Okay, let's see which other cards do we have here. All right, so you need to again go to that meditative, self-reflective approach, being the master of your attention, not to be triggered by everything what may be broken or picks on you, but really get focused on how can you resolve situation. What is half full in your life, not half empty, not half broken. That type of approach is actually required to handle situations into your work. Again, not through authority, but through that balance within, and through that, you know, just like you're standing still in that resolution, and then you look first what's happening, and then you act, you respond, you don't react. That type of attitude must be there. But first you must rebalance yourself, because this is a truly loving being. She's a truly loving being. She actually healed already herself, then she can deal with the beast. If she didn't heal herself, the beast will eat her. That's what's happening here. That's the negative side of the card. All right, let's see what else we can have here. All right, so by focusing only onto one project, or only onto one side of the project, or only onto one side of a problem, you don't see other solutions. So again, it's coming back to the attention which you want to develop here, and only then you will see resourcefulness within you and the opportunities, and how can you resolve any kind of conflicts happening at your work. All right, so it's very, very powerful message for you here, so that you would be able to remind yourself continuously about that. And 5 of Swords. So in fact, whenever we have a disbalanced mind, right, and this is actually representing it, our bird cannot fly, right? Our spirit cannot fly, which is represented by that bird, and then the snake will slowly but steadily will crawl over those swords, those beliefs, those thoughts, those past traumas, and guess what will happen? It will eventually bite our soul. It will eventually bite ours. It will be so hurting. So we need to be aware of it. It's like a beware card, right? So you have to work over this with deep reflective practices, right? Maybe with your tarot cards, with that intuitive tarot reading practices. Very, very important. And then watch your energy. You need to really watch your energy, because the energy may be like, you may swift like this and get out of control, you know, just like very, very important to be aware about it, because these two cards are happening together. If you don't watch your energy and you just like, you know, what may happen is destruction may happen actually at your work. Some relationships may be broken, some more conflicts may actually arise. So you want just to watch that energy better, watch it inside, and use some breath work, in fact. Before saying something, hold. First, breathe at least 3 times. Promise me, just at least 3 times. Breathe slightly slower. I promise you, many conflicts may be resolved by them, just like you letting them go. Before reacting, before speaking something, all right? So very, very important to have that in mind as a warning, in fact. And then if you follow that tip of advice, just at least slow your breath down, you know. I'm not even recommending you to do any guided meditations. If you really have that prone and that attitude, being prone to that, you may just find some guided meditations even on my website. They are free, some of them, so you can actually, they can actually help you. But if you are not a meditation person, then in this case, at least everyone here can slow down their breath. So before saying something, you just like slow down your breath. I promise you, many things which you wanted to say, you actually may stop from saying. Okay? And you may actually go for a slight walk even. That will also help. And you get back and you just, okay, I would better not say anything already in this situation. And then guess what? If you follow that simple tip, do you see the card? Queen of Pentacles. This is an amazing card, a really, really beautiful card, which says, hey, just if you stop yourself from those energy swings and you preserve your energy, and remember, just for yourself, it was all in the beginning, all about the energy, right? You have to watch your energy. Remember these cards in the beginning, right? About your self-restoration. So if you watch your energy from those swings, guess what will happen? Eventually it will be manifested into your physical reality, just like you will be sitting like that Queen of Pentacles. And it's all about the rewards, the material rewards for that. So I would love you to have that beautiful, beautiful attitude within you. At least be willing to do it. Very simple. Use this technique before saying something. Just slightly slow down. And you feel, you want to say, no, just stop a bit. Just stop a bit. Slow down your breath a bit. To the best of your abilities, before saying that, your opponent may not even see it, okay? But you know what you are doing. You are doing some inner magic. You are doing some inner magic. So, and then guess what? That inner restoration will come in your career, in your attitude towards yourself, in how you look like. That there will be that inner radiance, in fact, because the energy will start being restored. Now, during this period, I am really wondering, do you need to go and interact more with the world, or you need kind of like to have more reflective mode? That's what I am wondering in, because there are 2 modes. When we slightly shut down from the world, we become much more contemplative, much more introspective, or we become more interactive. Both may be possible, right? So let's have a look. Ace of Cups, all right. 5 of Cups, 3 of Wands, again, this energy beam is coming down. 4 of Swords, 10 of Wands, all right, and 3 of Pentacles. Now, we need also to do 1 more card pull just to finish that cycle, because there is no ending of the story, seems like it. And King of Swords, that's it. That's exactly what I was searching for. So basically, you need to have that sound judgment within you regarding allowing anyone to step into your reality and be merciless if someone or something takes your energy. So watch your energy first through that sound judgment. That sound judgment, very rational. You know, you walk through the day. You walk through the day. That was your energy level. Something happened. Your energy level got depleted. You evaluate. Wait, that was my energy level initial. That is my another energy level. It got depleted. You are in that merciless state with that sound judgment. Wait, why it got depleted? Something happened. I evaluate this. What do I need to do so that to restore it first? Maybe there needs to be a certain action. And what do I need to do so that it would not happen again? Maybe I need to reduce the frequency of communication with that specific person. Or maybe I need to increase the distance. What has triggered it? Or maybe you went through the day, the energy lifted up. Could that happen? It could also happen. So in this case, you just also evaluate, wait, how can I do it even more so that my energy will be lifted and lifted up in a healthy way, of course. For example, there are some addictions here, like too much coffee. You cannot drink like 20 times per day coffee. It's too much. You know, one time per day is enough. I remember how I thought energy is being lifted when I was working by drinking more coffee. In fact, I realized that the more I drink it, the more sluggish I become. So you want to just discern, right, that long-lasting energy, what does it give you? Which kind of event gives it to you? Because usually like coffee gives us only like immediate bump, but then we are sluggish, a bump and sluggish. So not always good for health, especially for those who are experiencing certain issues with health. So beware about all this stuff. So yeah, and then another thing which you have in your reading here is that the release and patience. The release and patience. So patiently, again, it's going in coherence with what I am saying. Watch over the energy and be responsible. Be responsible for action steps. How can you restore your energy? Okay? You are acting here and you are restoring your energy back. And if it requires just release of certain thoughts, right? Just exactly what I talked about before saying something, before producing those thoughts into this reality, right? Before speaking them out, you just release them through that breath, right? And then slowly but steadily energy starts rising. And then guess what? You create the thick foundation for the Queen of Pentacles, in fact, to come into your life, right? If you will not do that, it might happen that certain things will create that release of tears in you. You might also look at this situation that sometimes it may be too much and you just need some helping shoulder to just cry it out, not to hold it too much into you. Otherwise, there will be that too much tension inside. If we hold too much inside, we don't release it through tears with some really good friend or a very compassionate, understanding partner. It may create also certain diseases within the body. So we need to really pay attention to that. So watch any kind of overwhelmment over your energy. Again, this is again the reminder for that. Take responsibility for restoring it. And then guess what? You have this very positive card, 3 of Pentacles, which says, hey, everything will work out well if you just do watch over your energy, take the responsibility for it, all right? And that is, I would say, the end of my reading for you for today. I hope you are fully equipped to ride the cycle of that restoration and healing within for the second half of the month.